Now would you look at that? Oh man, it's pretty bloody on the street. We're going to take a look at a lot of different things today. We did warn you guys about this a couple of weeks ago. We said the bulls were trapped. Things were pointing themselves out to us on these charts, and the price just started to tumble. All right, so when we see these things, we're always going to call them out. And what points us off to this? The future. So we're going to take a look at that today. COT still looks pretty damn scary in my opinion. Where are the real levels that Bitcoin may bounce? We're going to talk about 40K, 37K, 33K today. All right, levels that we've pretty much been pointing out for a little while on this channel. There's some fair market value gaps right around those areas, guys. So if price were to fall, those are the areas that we're going to look for the bounces. All right, also there's some sentiment that's pretty much turning, right? A lot of people were going either neutral or bullish, and that's what brought a lot of the money in. And ultimately, people are starting to get liquidated at this point. Close to $100 million over the past 24 hours worth of liquidations, okay? I think it's up to like 84, 82 million dollars. All right, so that's a lot of money going off the market, just basically because most people are going long and they're getting slapped for that. All right, so we'll take a look at Bitcoin, we'll take a look at alts, we'll take a long look at the long-term review, buy and sell zones, all of that good stuff. And I'm gonna give you guys my opinion today on why I think the crypto market actually sets itself up for failure when it comes to what we promote and what we put out to our market and our communities. All right, so if you don't know who I am, it's your boy Maestro. Thanks for tuning in to The Long and Short. Let's go. All right, peeps, let's go ahead and start off on bar chart Bitcoin futures for April 22. All right, I like to compare trading to driving. I have my position, everyone else around me has a position, and I like to drive defensively. So what I like to do is look for signs, right? What are the things that are telling me that people are either going to merge into my lane, they're driving erratically, so I got to get out of the way. These are the signs that I look for basically when I'm driving and also in the market. So what am I saying about this, right? If we take a look at Bitcoin futures, there were many different signs that was telling us that price wanted to go short. Let's just start from the top, all right? You had this big gap, okay, that was created. Big CME futures gap that was created pretty much at the same point that price broke through two areas of highs right here. Okay, so these equal highs, price broke through them around the same level and created this high here. This was the flag basically waving to us saying, yep, time to go short. And after that, right, if you just take a look at where the largest speculators were going, sort of preeminent to that point in time and price, this gave us the clue, all right? Not only that, you had your EMA starting to spread out a bit. We all know that as stacking, and chances are if EMA start to stack, price is going to come back to them, right? So these are all signs that we were pointing out a week ago, 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago about what happened with price and what's going to happen with it moving forward, okay? So calling this out, basically we were looking at two different things or three different things, okay? Big CME futures gap, EMA stacking, new price was going to come back to that area. And part of that was fueled by what the larger speculators were doing, all right? Now, we can see that they've actually crushed a lot further below this zero line, but now they're starting to kind of angle up a bit, all right? So we want to watch this position. Also, you see the retail speculators, now they're starting to come down off of some of this long sentiment, all right? If you look at sentiment today, it's fearful, around 32, okay? So the retail speculators, they're being brought back to reality a little bit, and they're going to start sinking back into this area. All right. Now, if you look at the COT, let's say go back a year, 2 years. Okay. I want to point something out very, very clear to folks, which is why I think sometimes we speculate on why the crypto market kind of sets itself up for failure. You see how the largest speculators right here, they were sort of at their lowest point in net short positions. Okay. And essentially, right after they started to push things back up, this is when price started to fall. You want to know who was combating that? The retail, all right? Retail is what actually made this price go up. Now, you also had your commercials over that zero line, okay, which fueled. So basically, when your commercials are over that zero line, they're holding the Bitcoin. That's like the miners holding the Bitcoin. Less on the market, but the largest speculators were short. Retail was long. Retail played the game right, but the larger speculators knew how to execute on those shorts and continue to push the price down. They will always outlast us, okay, when it comes to money. I get kind of tired of the fallacy of people thinking that, you know, if we all collectively go in on something, it's gonna push the price a little bit. It's gonna do that. But understand that these guys have connections and their money moves together. One hedge fund, 2 or 3 hedge funds can't do very much in the market. But when they all move together, guys, with coordination, because that's what they do, all right? They're not all trading against each other. Don't get it twisted, right? They know when to execute. And so when they push the price, they can push it by algorithmic standards. They don't have to sit around in a room and discuss it. It's the algorithms that are doing it in coordination, all right, guys? But retail won this fight, and then they pushed us back down, all right? Now, when we notice that the larger speculators are taking these types of positions, as long as the commercials are combating that, you may see price rises, okay? But if the larger speculators, as well as the commercials, are on the net zero line under it, that's when you're going to get some of your more dramatic price falls. So this is what we're looking at. Now, what do we say here, right? What was really going on around this time frame? And this is November of 2021, all right? What was really taking off in the crypto market around this time? Think about it, guys, right? Same stuff that you guys hear about people getting scammed all of the time with now, right? NFTs. Now, I like the NFT market. I've never bought one. I'm interested in buying one when the price comes down, because I think they're completely overvalued. There's many different stories of people, you know, pumping the value up to make these things more popular than what they actually are. And right around November of 2021 is when that hype train really started taking off for NFTs. So people were buying crypto, all right? It really didn't matter what the larger speculators were doing at that time. What is the hype about today? Ask yourself that question. Are people still buying NFTs at the rate they were buying in the beginning of the year? No, okay? Are people buying metaverse, land, area, that type of stuff as they were in the beginning of the year? No. So when you get a certain sector of the market that gets affected by things like NFT scams, rug pulls, all of these different things that are going on in the market to give you that sour taste in your mouth, what makes you think that these people are going to take their losses and go dropping into something more fundamental like Bitcoin? They don't. So when this scenario presents itself into the market, this is why the crypto market sets itself up for failure, if you guys get what I'm saying. All right. You can't put things in the market, get people wrecked, scammed, rug pulled, and think that they will go back to the fundamental things. No, they're just going to put their money in meme stocks because that's safer than crypto. All right, guys. There's a lot of social media that gets traders wrecked, right? And we're going to go back to doing those kind of meme videos where we're making fun of this stuff, because if you're smart enough to realize that anybody pointing in the air like this, all right, I hate those videos. You want to know why? Because those people don't know anything. They're just, and someone else may go in and put in the actual text that's in there. Well, guys, everything that you see online, if it's a screenshot, consider it fake. Seriously. If people aren't doing it live in front of you, consider it fake. All right, guys? That's all we're going to say about this. So what we're saying about our market is that if we continue to rug pull each other, if we continue to put out projects that are completely inflated in value and don't have any real substance to them, all right, then we will burn ourselves when it comes to the more fundamental things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? The real coins that can actually make a difference in the way that people operate, all right, in the way that we transact. Don't lose sight and focus on what really matters. That's all I'm going to tell you guys out here in this market. All right. You can take a look at the larger speculators, because at the end of the day, they are controlling the moves now. It's not us. Why? Because we've lost interest. Why? Because people got burned. People got rug pulled over the past 6 to 12 months. Right? Anybody that's heavily invested in crypto can tell you about something that happened to them, either in regards to a scam or a rug pull, one or the other, okay? If you're brand new to this space, protect yourself. Don't get into these brand new hype trains until they really prove themselves on the market. And that's what Bitcoin was for a moment, right? But Bitcoin over time proved itself, which is why it is the safest crypto investment that you can make. Between that and Ethereum, there really is nothing else on the playing field that you can say will be around 10 to 20 to 30 years from now, guys. All right. What else can you guarantee, right? With the strongest guarantee that you can possibly put out there, what else can you say will be there in this crypto market and mean it deep down in your heart, mind, body, and soul without being part of whatever group that is, whatever, crypto club that is, right? If you're not a maximist, if you're not a person who's completely devoted, religious to a coin, then you can take a realistic perspective. All right, guys, let's take a look at a couple of other things, then we'll dive into the charts. All right, sorry about that long spiel, but it's just the way that I feel. Take it how you like. Market is fearful right now, okay? Last week we were normal. Everybody was nice, neutral, things are cool. Yeah, all right, going long. Everybody's long. All right, well, 54% of the market is long. It's leaning long, which is why the largest speculators have this opportunity to take advantage of us, right? $88.09 million liquidated over the past 24 hours, okay? Which is what's creating that fear in the market. People are getting wiped out because they're going long, all right? Taking a look at a couple of real levels here, all right? Now, this is the 1 hour chart on Trading Light. And we can see that price started to come down and started to break through some of these levels where we thought we would have some support. Now, you don't have very strong support, right? The way I want you guys to view this is this orange line, it's hit or miss, right? Price could actually touch that, break through it, keep going, right? Just like you see it here. But as it gets darker into the yellow and starts to turn to white, these are the real levels that we want to consider in regards to where we may get a bit of support. So the first one that we're looking at somewhere is around 40K. All right, if we zoom this in here, you'll see somewhere around 40,000. We come down to the next level. You had one that started to get developed over the past couple of weeks, somewhere around 37.5. Now that's 321 orders worth of Bitcoin. All right, or 321 Bitcoin worth of orders per se. All right, lots of money sitting there. A little bit less, 245 sitting here. And if you go down a bit deeper, right around the 33,000 level, you have another 33, right at 33.50, you have 300 Bitcoin worth of orders there. All right, you go lower than that, sitting right at around 29,975, 279. So where's the real support, right? If you really want to look at it, guys, it's starting to develop somewhere around 37 to 32 or 33,000. All right, $40,000 level, I think is a level that could potentially hold, but it may be more of a retracement level for another push down. What's going to actually determine that? Look at the macros, all right? Will the war in Ukraine and Russia still be going on in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks? Probably, right? Is inflation going anywhere in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks? No, it's probably going to get worse, all right? Fed looks like they're scrambling at this point, all right? So if those two factors aren't going anywhere, then we can realistically expect that if the largest speculators don't really start to push up and start buying Bitcoin, you may see some of these lower levels. Mid to low 30s is where we may find our bounce. Now, let's say, for example, in 2 to 3 weeks, a miracle happens, okay? Russia, Ukraine, they stop fighting so much. They start to negotiate. That could swing the market in a positive direction, okay? That's just one level of uncertainty that's cleared out a bit. And let's say, for example, that people start to see inflation as a real threat and they start to buy Bitcoin, right? Let's say, for example, some real stories come out, all right, on some reputable channels that show proof that people who invested in Bitcoin, a few years ago, their money is worth a lot more now than it is if they would have invested it in a bank. It's a very simple story to write, but I don't think the story is being told enough. But if people really start to catch on to that, right, then maybe you would get the retail influx that you're looking for, okay, against some of these inflationary things that are happening in the real market. So that's why there's uncertainty. The market can go either way, and as long as larger speculators know how to play on our emotions, swing us up, swing us down, just to swing us up again, they can take advantage of this range, right? They can take advantage of these ranges anywhere between 50K, right? mid to high 40s, all the way back down to the mid to low 30s, guys. They can just swing price in this range. And I said to a friend a long time ago, it's not a bad idea for them to do that. Everyone was talking about $100,000, $200,000 Bitcoin, right? That made people buy in, right? But if the real, if the bigger players really wanted to stall us in that direction, there's a very good reason for them to do that, all right? Get everyone sick of Bitcoin by the next halving, and then you've got yourself a really good market to buy into. That's not a bad idea for the powers that be if they really want to get their hands on this. And that's what I think they may actually be trying to get things out there too, all right? And that's what I actually think they may be trying to do. Just kind of sit people still, make people bored, make people sick of crypto, of Bitcoin, all of the things that, they know they want to get their hands on. If they were late to the market, these are the games that they're going to play. All right, let's take a look at a couple of charts because we've been rambling on a little bit. We want to get out of the way of that. Let's go into the 15-minute because, at the end of the day, guys, we have been catching some scalps to the short side. Lots of imbalances to the top side for price to go get. But right now, price is just continuing this downwards move. All right, so on a 15-minute, things still look pretty bleak. And just like we said, guys, if you start to think about the levels that we saw on the real charts, okay, 36,769, that's right around 37K. All right, 34,536, that's right around 33K. Okay, so these are levels of imbalance that price has yet to fill in these, green box areas. Now we're on a 15 minutes, so the chart's very expanded, and that's what we're seeing here. But, not a lot for price to be held by between here and there. Okay, it may trade up and kind of swing within these levels a bit before it falls again, but we're hoping that that 40K level is what bounces Bitcoin up out of here. All right. Do I think it's going to launch it out of here? There's some things that you may want to see price catch to the upside, but I don't think so. As long as you have this sort of, uncertainty in the market, this may be the sort of the peaks of where we are, right? When we go back to the daily charts, we'll be able to tell this on Bitcoin as well. All right, so for the most part, guys, your plays are short. If you're scalping, swinging. And the reason why they're still short, but you may be starting to run into a bit of a wall here at 40K. I want to really see what happens at 40,000. And that may happen today. All right. If you break below 40,000, okay, and you bounce, that may just be a retracement. So your short plays may be there on swings. All right. There's nothing really pointing to price launching. All right. It may get a bounce, but it's not going to launch. You're not going to see these type of plays here, okay? These big extensions in price. You're not going to see that, all right? What I'm thinking more like you're going to see is aggressive moves to the downside, nice retracements up for more aggressive moves to the downside. That is the tone of the market, and you can see it sort of in the previous price action. You get a nice little swing up, pow, set everybody down, right? Nice little swing up, pow, set everybody down. The push is to the downside. The more aggressive move is to the downside. Pay attention to that. They may try to set us up again, right? Pow, and push us down right at 40K. So these are the things that we're looking at. We're going to believe the charts. We're going to believe the patterns. We're going to believe what we see. We're not going to FUD. We're not going to FOMO. We're just playing it how it goes. All right. So on a 15-minute chart, that's your position. That's what we're looking for in the market, not financial advice. But if I were trading, that would be the things that I'm looking for. In retracements up into imbalance zones, especially, you're looking to take the shorts somewhere around that area. All right. Total crypto market cap. Let's take a look at the daily and we'll start to get up out of here in a minute. So things are back into the weak zone. And again, guys, just remember how it feels in the market when we fall below 1.876 trillion, right? You're looking at Coinbase today. You're looking at your trading view today, right? And you're seeing 8%, 9%, 7%, 10% down. The market sentiment, 32, fearful. Just last week, guys, we were happy, right? So all of these different things are just proven to us again that the dividing line of the crypto market sits somewhere around 1.87 to 1.9 trillion dollars, okay? Right now, we're below it, so we're going back into a weak market, and we need to be careful because things are still aligned for shorter prices, okay? You see this area right here, okay? Right around 1.64. If price were to spike that, you may see a bounce, okay? How much further is that down? We can look at Bitcoin and kind of get the same type of views on that, right? So these lows here, where are they sitting? Somewhere around 37,000, right, guys? The numbers, if they are showing confluence to you, then you can get a pretty good understanding of where they may want to go. The reason why we say 37 is because there's liquidity sitting here, guys, right? If we blow this up some, you can see tons of liquidity sitting at very even levels right there. All right, we may even draw a liquidity box in there because it would make sense to do that, right, at this level. Okay, so just kind of here to here, right? There's money sitting right there. All right, you can just put big dollar signs sitting right there. Let's color this in blue so we know it's liquidity. Okay, but that's what price may be going for, guys. Whenever you see price extending, moving somewhere, it's going for something. What are the first things that price is going to go for? Imbalances and liquidity. You got a really nice level sitting right there. Okay, another one right there. What do you have there? Big imbalance, nice area of lows right there. Price could spike right through that. And where are you at? 40K. All right, guys. All of the confluence that we want to see makes sense around the 40K, 37K level. What's at 33? All right. You're right above the scaling zone, but basically you're taking out the liquidity downside here. But that's pretty much already been spiked through, right? You can see that big candle wick right there. Spiked through all of that liquidity down there. But there's still some levels here for price to go for, right? So long term, what do we think? You buy Bitcoin somewhere below 39.4, or even better, get it somewhere within this liquidity zone. Even better if you can get it somewhere around 34 to 32, because that may be the floor per se when it comes to this price action and where it's reaching to. So 3, maybe 4 areas of where price may actually bounce as it continues to push down here. All right. The retail is not going to come and bail Bitcoin out. All right. You had your Bitcoin conference over the past couple of weeks, right? It didn't bounce price the way that people thought it should, right? Now they're talking about this ETF. They're talking about, there's a lot of news right now also that's kind of making people bearish. And if we go take a look at news, this is the way I like to view news. All right, I'll just pull this little thing up here and I'll take a look at the sentiment, all right? And what are people actually saying, right? So I don't go and read the full news articles. I can get an idea how the market thinks just by reading through the headlines, okay? Growing number of regions in the world turned into Bitcoin as legal tender after El Salvador's lead. But then they follow that up with saying BitMEX founder says technology route could push Bitcoin to 30,000. Bloomberg, okay? So all of the bigger guys, right? They're saying, yeah, you should sell your Bitcoin because it's going to 30K. But the countries, the people that understand the fundamentals are buying it. So what does that tell you as a retail trader? What does that tell you, right? This is how I use the news, all right? The bigger guys, they're setting us up. They want the price to fall. They want it to keep going lower, okay? Because that just makes it sweeter for them when they go spend $1 billion on Bitcoin and push the price up over, the course of a few weeks or however they allocate that in. All right, guys, just understand the larger game and what's happening here, and you will get a better perspective on where price may actually start to bounce. They're going to push it here, guys. I have a pretty good opinion and pretty good insight on that. From my opinion, I think they're going to push it here. All right. Now let's take a look at a couple of other things. Ethereum also starting to fall back into sort of a level where you can probably get some pretty good prices on Ethereum as well. All right. So anything under this scale out zone, guys, anywhere around 25.3 we think is a good zone buy for Ethereum. Also, if you're looking to draw your charts up like this, there will be a tutorial that we pop above for you guys to take a look at. Go ahead and check that out. But you can see, pretty much scale in to scale out. All of these zones are still being hit for Ethereum as well, guys. And it's pretty much the same across the board, right? If you're buying anywhere below 25.36 for Ethereum, you're getting it at a good price. You're buying Bitcoin below 40K, below 35K, you're getting it at a good price. All right, one that we've been watching for a long time, Terra Luna. Remember what we said, guys, your all-time high gets broken, take your profit, because this is when price is going to do this, all right? Now, the larger market, dragging it down as well, but this is a pretty easy play to make if, in fact, you were trading some Terra Luna. And this was a pretty quick move, man, from a discount area around $50 to a high premium area around 106. If you were to take that move, you made 100%, all right? not too bad of a play. AVAX, you know, still swinging down again, but scale in to scale out zone, respect it, hit, price comes down. Now you have an opportunity to buy again because it's in the discount zone. All right, so be strategic in the way that you're doing this, guys, and you'll make money every single time. And we showed you guys how to set it up to where you can automate this, right? You set your buy orders up somewhere in these lower areas here. You set your sell orders up somewhere in these areas here, and you automate your system. We give you a full tutorial on that. That's also in the one that we posted the tag for. All right, guys, let's just take a look at a couple of more and then we'll get out of here. XRP, also 70 cents XRP, guys. We said that anything under 86 cents is a good buy for XRP, but we can see that this area pretty much is sort of acting as a resistance level right now. But the premise still remains. You're in accumulation right now when it comes to XRP, with the anticipation that they will win the lawsuit with the SEC. Now, I think the crypto market and the SEC, they're going to really start to bump heads, not only with this XRP, you know, suit, but also with the Bitcoin ETF. They're talking about suing the SEC, right? So I think there's going to be some rougher patches ahead, and that's not going to make anything easier for XRP. So again, you're still consolidating in this area, swinging down. I'm really looking to get XRP anywhere under maybe say 65 to 50 cents, 57 cents. That to me is a steal. I would actually load up on XRP if that was the case. We'll take a look at one more. Solana starting to see its way back down from a discount to low premium. So again, guys, you know, just honoring the rules here, buying in scale in zone. As soon as you hit that low premium zone, trying to take some profit off the table is not a bad idea. And if in fact you would have did that, you would have come home with something, all right, before the fall. So overall tone of the market, guys, what are we really seeing here? Think there may be just a bit more pain. If we take a look at the total crypto market cap, we're starting to swing back into this zone where, you know, unless people have something to get excited about, they're not going to get excited, right? So this is what's going to drag it as well. Not only that, you have your larger speculators that are pushing the price down, okay? And we're seeing this. And they're pushing it aggressively, guys. These are pretty big red candles here on the day. All right, so we got to watch price. We got to watch it. We got to be aware of where it could go, what it can do, and the areas above that price needs to go get. I know this looks pretty crazy, guys, but these are all areas of imbalance on like a 15-minute chart, right? Potential areas where we can get pushed back down. So if price were to do something like this, kind of bounce off of 40K, we're expecting it to maybe retrace between one of these two first levels, maybe somewhere around 43 to 44 before you may get a bit more of a dip, or we may just swing in this range, guys. If you think about it from the longer term perspective, we are pretty much still in a range, all right? Got the highs of it here and the lows of it here. And if you look at it, here are your interior highs and lows. Here are your exterior highs and lows, okay? That's what's being put in front of us. Play it accordingly. Take shorts at the highs, take longs at the lows, right? But be careful in the way that you're approaching it and don't use a lot of leverage. The market is trying to set traders up for failure, and you can see that. All right, guys, so hopefully this information has been helpful for you. Hopefully my opinion didn't offend you. I like NFTs. I just think that the way that the market is rolled out to people and the amount of rug pulls, you know, that hurt us as a community, right? You can only be scammed by people so many times before you say, you know what, hell with that. I'm gonna go collect Pokemon cards or something. Right, guys? So let's understand the perspective is not to hate on anyone or anything or any decisions that you've made in the market. It's just a realistic perspective on how we think the market kind of pulled the rug from under itself when it came to just the fundamental things. And if we continue to do this to ourselves, we're going to allow the larger speculators to essentially take the market from us, which they are in the process of trying to do. All right, guys? So be smart, use proper risk management, learn how to trade if you don't. This is one of the best things you can do for yourself if you are aware on how to invest. All right? Understand who you are as a trader and you'll go far. It's your boy Maestro. Thanks for tuning in to The Long and Short, man. We up out of here. Take care. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.